Assalamualaikum to our lecturer, Engineer Technology Dr Muhammad Zaid bin Akub. So we are from Group 2. Before we start our presentation today, I would like to introduce myself and my another teammate. So first, my name is Daniel Iskandar bin Zahar, Ahmad Izzuddin bin Rohadi, Tuan Adi Fikri bin Tuan Rohisham, Muhammad Al-Amin bin Luqman Fadil, and last but not least, Madura Ganesh anak lelaki Balasubramaniam. So today, we like to present about natural and petroleum gas. So this is a natural and petroleum gas concept. So what is a natural and petroleum gas? So natural gas is a fossil energy source that forms beneath the Earth's surface. Natural gas contain many different compounds. The largest component of natural gas is methane, a compound with a 1 carbon atom and 4 hydrogen atoms. So how natural gas form? Over time, this layer will bury under sand, silt and rock. Pressure and heat change some of this carbon and hydrogen-rich material into coal, some into oil, which is petroleum, and some into natural gas. So natural and petroleum gas processing. So first, gathering line bring natural gas from the well to processing plant. Then transmission line carry finished natural gas to distribution center, where finally its distribution line carry the natural gas to home and businesses. So next is contaminant in raw natural and petroleum gas. So there's a common contaminant in the natural and petroleum gas, which is first is gases, helium, hydrogen sulfide, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, oxygen and water vapor. There is also a liquid contaminant in a raw natural and petroleum gas, which is liquid natural gas condensate and crude oil, trace metals such as mercury, and radioactive materials such as radon. So this is the natural petroleum gas formation. So first, if you see the below first picture, the tiny marine plants and animals die and were buried on the ocean floor. Over the time, the marine plant and animal were covered by layers of silt and sand. So next we go for the next picture. Over a million of years, the remains were buried deeper and deeper. The enormous heat pressure turned them to the remain into oil natural gas. And next we see today we drill down through layer of sand, silt and rock to reach the rock formation that contain oil and natural gas deposit. And then we go for the pan processing. So next is a petroleum production process. So petroleum products are subjected to the quality inspection at the upstream, midstream and downstream stages of production. Analysis of gasoline additive, oil pollutant, crude oil fraction and crude oil composition are all examples of analysis. So we go first into the upstream process. So what is upstream process? Upstream process is the exploration and the production phase of the upstream process entails looking for the possible subterranean or underwater natural gas and crude oil deposit, drilling test well and bringing the gas and oil from the well to the surface. And after the upstream process, we go for another process, which is midstream process. So what is midstream process? The midstream process is involved the storage, wholesale selling and transportation of crude of refined petroleum product by pipeline, rail, barge, oil tanker or truck. Upstream distributor can receive refined product from the refineries and carry crude oil from production site to refineries by pipeline and other transportation network. So last but not least, downstream process. So the downstream process refers to the refinery petroleum crude oil and processing and purifying raw natural gas. These products are divided into light distilled LPG C3 to C4, gasoline C3 C12 and naphtha C614. Middle distillates kerosene, diesel C9 to C6, jet fuel C9 to C17, and last heavy distilled lubricating oil C20+. So in the next slide, we can see this is an example of the diagram for the crude oil composition and fractionation. So crude oil is a complex combination of hydrocarbon, organic, non-hydrocarbon molecule comprising NSNO and chemicals that are organometallic such as NiFeNV. The crude oil mixture is divided into numerous fractions throughout the refinery process, which produce the finished good of variety for the industrial use. So, based on this diagram, crude oil fractional distillation, we can see around of 50 degrees Celsius, they will produce for the gasoline and petrol. If you go for the next 120 Celsius, they will produce naphtha. More than 120, more or around 120 degrees Celsius, they go for the kerosene. 250 Celsius, they go for the diesel oil. More than 250 Celsius, they will produce lubricating oil. And last, you can see more than 350 degrees Celsius, they will produce fuel oil and bitumen. So this is the example how the natural gas and petroleum process from the raw material. We can see first, this is the oil and gas well, this is the gas well. So we go for the separation in this container, which is the separate between oil and water. Then they go for the gases that were separated by the oil, we go for the gas processing plant. So this is the procedure, which is where they have to make the product remove, non-hydrocarbon gases remove, return to the field, vented and flare. So at the end of this processing plant, they go for the consumer.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Izzuddin Berohadi, and today I will talk about natural and petroleum gas properties. LPG or liquefied petroleum gas and natural gas is clearly chemically different gases because natural gas is methane, while LPG is propane or butane. Next properties is natural gas is lighter than LPG. Also, you can say natural gas is lighter than air, while LPG is heavier than air. So if there is an event of leak, natural gas will disperse quickly. So we can conclude that LPG is more safe than natural gas. In terms of energy content, LPG has a higher energy content, so less gas is required to produce the same amount of heat. LPG compared to natural gas has more than double the energy content at 93.2 megajoule per meter cube, while natural gas at 38.7 megajoule per meter cube. So LPG is much more efficient than natural gas. LPG. Next, in terms of air to gas combustion ratio, LPG requires an oxygen to gas ratio of approximately 25:1, while natural gas requires a ratio of around 10:1. In distribution, LPG is distributed in gas bottles or tanks, while natural gas being conveyed via pipeline. So from the properties we have go through one by one, we can conclude that LPG is better than natural gas because of high energy content and portability, and less expensive than natural gas. But natural gas is better in delivery aspect as it can be transported through pipe, and also it produces less carbon dioxide than LPG. That's all from me. Thank you.
There are two cycles in natural and petroleum gas, which are simple and combined cycle. For simple cycle, it starts with compressor, combustion chamber, turbine and generator. For compressor, it brings air into the engine, pressurizes it and delivers it to the combustion chamber. and the system of combustion chamber is pump a constant stream of fuel with the air and burn at 2000 degrees Fahrenheit, and it generates a high temperature, high pressure gas stream and enters to the turbine. The rotating blades are spinning when hot combustion gas expands through the turbine, and the rotating blade have two purposes, which are drive the compressor, which draw more pressure air into the combustion area, and dash spin a generator to generate energy. The characteristic of simple cycle is less efficient than combined cycle, which around 35%. Then it can be turned on or off quickly in order to fulfill society's electrical demand. And last is not operate for a significant period, and these plants are often only operational for a few hours per day.
Assalamualaikum. Today I will talk about combined cycle power plant. So the combined cycle power plant has 6 main parts, which is electric generators, steam turbine, condenser, water feed pump, heat recovery steam generator aka boiler, and gas turbine. So the combined cycle power plant working principle has 3. The first section is burning of the fuel inside the gas turbine. The gas turbine compress the air and fuel is mixed, which in turn heated to extremely high temperature and causes burning of the fuel. The burnt hot gases are then passed through the blades of gas turbine and starts rotating. The spinning blades of gas turbine drives a generator which converts the rotational energy to electrical energy. The second part is the use of the exhaust heat. The heat of the exhaust gas from gas turbine is utilized by heat recovery steam generator. The heat recovery steam generator uses the heat to convert water to steam, which goes to the steam turbine. The third part is the generation of the additional electricity by the steam turbine. Steam turbine converts high velocity steam energy to mechanical energy from rotation of the steam turbine blades. A generator is coupled with the steam turbine and converts mechanical energy of the turbine to electricity. Exhaust steam from the steam turbine is passed to the condenser, where it is changed to the water. This water is transferred to the boiler with the help of feed water pump for the generation of heat again. That's all from me. Thank you.
Good day everyone, my name is Ganesh. So I'm going to continue the presentation with the title of Emission Factors of Natural and Petroleum Gas. So here I got stated few types of emissions which is producing from the petroleum and also natural gas, which is carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen monoxide and also carbon monoxide. So according to the comparison which I have stated here, the petroleum having the highest emission for carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide and also nitrogen monoxide compared to the natural gas. But for the carbon monoxide, natural gases having the highest factor compared to the petroleum gases. So we go for the next slide. Environmental effects of natural gas and petroleum gas. Here I got stated few of the effects because of the natural gas and also petroleum gas. So the first is air pollution. Air pollution, where the presence of nitrogen oxide in the air and also carbon monoxide, it affects the respiratory and also cardiovascular system of a human being and also animals. So where it will make humans hard to breathe in, and also it can cause heart attacks. For the soil, vegetables and also animals effects, so which the gases is contaminate the water surface. So the presence of the gas will contaminate the water surface and also land cause erosions. So because of the contaminant, it can mix the land erosion, infections and also difficult to breathe for animals, and also some can have the joint pains because there are few animals which will stay on the land, and also sometimes they will sleep on the land. So the presence of the gases can transfer to the animal's body and can make the joint pains. The third effects is about the building and also materials. So erosion of sulfuric dioxide on Taj Mahal and also vehicle using the batteries. So the presence of the sulfur dioxide, it can cause the Taj Mahal to be affected because Taj Mahal is made of the marbles. And the final is about the greenhouse effect. So the radiation from the sun reflected in all directions due to the presence of the air molecules. So the gases having the air molecules, so because of the air molecules, so the radiation which is coming from the sun, it can cause the reflection and increase the temperature in the surrounding systems. So these are the effects of the environment due to the natural gas and also petroleum gas. Thank you from us. Bye.